Hello and welcome back to Ultima 7, the Blackgate and Forge of Virtue. So, we are about to head over to Skara Brae, and on Skara Brae we're going to do something that we haven't done much of, in fact I don't think any of at all, which is read some of the runes. So, I probably haven't even popped it up very much to see on screen because I've never translated on video, but and I'm going to be slow at it. But you can see the runic alphabet that the game uses, and it's very easy to look up what the what they translate to. And of course, this would have come with the game back in the day when you bought the hard copy, along with all the maps and things like that. And it's what I like about this, the alphabet here, and it's not unique to this game, I don't think it's used in something else as well, is that it's not just each letter represents a single letter. So for example, this is B, L, O, W, blow. Now this is actually two letters, so it's not simply there are 26 characters for 26 characters. There are 26 characters to represent A to Z, but then there's also characters that represent common double letters. So this is TH, I think, anyways. TH, O, R. I won't do a lot of this on screen because I'm not very quick at it. Oh no, I was wrong, excuse me, it says blow horn, so that's H, not TH. Blow horn to, excuse me, S, E, M, M, O, N, to summon. F, E, R, R, Y. Blow horn to summon fairy. So that wasn't actually a good example of the double consonants because none of those, or the double characters, because that was all single characters. But hopefully you see my rambling point. So, blow horn to summon fairy. The horn is here, and we don't actually need to blow it because the fairy is already here. But if we were to take the fairy across and then say cast help or something to go back, and then go back to Skara Brae, we'd have to blow the horn for the ferryman. Anyways, look at this lovely person, the ferryman. Let's see what he has to say. The hooded figure in the boat ignores you completely. Right, so in order to, because the entire land of Skara Brae is, well, all of its inhabitants, I should say, are undead. So Alagnar did warn us that in order to speak to them, we would have to cast the Seance spell, which we have here. Now let's try. Before you stands a tall, skeletal figure in a ghostly boat. He holds out his hand to you and says in a sepulchral, ooh, great word, sepulchral voice, "I am the ferryman of Skara Brae. Thou must pay 2 coins to cross the misty channel." Let's talk to him first. Name. I am the ferryman. His voice creaks like the rocking of the boat. Job. The ferryman doesn't respond at first, shaking his head from side to side in puzzlement. I am the ferryman. Ferryman? Yes, if you pay me, I can take you across the Misty Channel. The Misty Channel? He turns to the side and waves his skeletal hand in a sweeping gesture over the water upon which his boat rests. This is the Misty Channel. Skara Brae? He turns all the way around and points across the water to the west. There. Lugan, art thou sure we need to go over there? What's the matter, Shimino? Art thou afraid? Of course not. Oh, never mind. Let's go. Iolo's eyes narrow as he adopts a patronizing look on his face. "And I suppose thou art without fear?" he says to Spark. "No, sir, I am not afraid of a skeleton." "No, sir, I am not afraid of a skeleton," he says, as he looks at the ferryman. However, he gulps. "Okay, we'll pay." "Wilt thou pay my price for passage to Skara Brae?" "Yep." You place the coins in the shade's palm, and his bony fingers close over them. "Step aboard if thou wouldst go to the Isle of the Dead." Here we go. And here we are. Thank you. Do you say anything now? The ferryman of Skara Brae stands in his spectral boat, holding his pole across his chest. He notices your approach. "You need not pay to return to the mainland." And we don't want to return. We've already asked all those things. All right. Excuse me. Okay, so this is Skara Brae. Excuse me. And right away you can see why we have to take the ferry over, because you cannot... Well, I think you actually can, in a very specific place, land the magic carpet here. You're not supposed to be able to, but I think there is one spot that it's difficult to get to that you can do it. But anyways, best to take the ferry. All right, let's check it out. So you can see the whole place is destroyed. Ooh, a moving chair. Glitched or something. Oh, here we go. This place is creepy. A ghost! The corpulent undead barkeep greets you with a wide, gruesome smile. "Come, stranger. Have a seat near old Markham and tell me o' your travels. I don't often get visitors in here anymore." Name? The heavy-set zombie wipes his mouth. The heavy-set zombie wipes his mouth off on the back of his hand. "I be Markham, Markham o' the Keg." He pats the large keg of wine he carries. Job? "Why, I run this fine establishment, the Keg o' Spirits." For a moment he becomes serious. This place once drew folk from all across Britannia, gargoyle and human alike. Until the fire, that is. The fire? He looks uncomfortable. "Cain blew the town to the four winds, and now we're all trapped here, slaves of that bastard Horrence." Tiny blue flames appear in the pupils of his glazed eyes, then go out as he regains his composure. "Please, Markham, have a little pity for Cain. He was trying to create something to save the town when he made his fatal mistake." The pale ghost looks deeply troubled. "Oh, I suppose you're right, Quen. He was trying to help us when he called the proverbial fires o' hell down on us. It just rankles me to have died in my prime." His roguish smile once again lightens his ghostly visage. "Horrence? For all the years I've been in Skara Brae, he's been a raving lunatic. What with all them silly rhymes and his crazy laughter. Then one night we all hears thunder when there isn't a cloud in the starry sky, and I seem to recall a full moon." He gets a thoughtful look on his face. "But as I was saying, there was this thunder, then this deep, dark laughter coming from the tower on the northern point, Horrence's dark tower. After this he falls silent for a moment. The pale ghost moves forward and whispers, "I was already living in the half-world of the dead when these events took place. And ever since, I've felt a strange pull coming from the tower." After a brief swig, he continues, "Then, even worse, I'm out checking on the cows when I hears a sound like moaning. It's off to the east, so I looked that way into the graveyard, and what do I see? I'll tell you what I seen. The grave's ripping open like the people in 'em got a place to go." Eyes wide, he tips back another sip. "And what of Cain?" A look of disgust comes to his disfigured features. "That tortured soul haunts the crater that made by his foolish mistake. I wouldn't go near him, though. He's a bit daft, He refills his mug from the cask at his side and swigs down most of the wine in one swallow. Tortured soul. That's just the name the rest of us in Skara Brae call him. The tortured one. He grins embarrassed. Ah, so that's who Elagner has asked us to go see. What of Skara Brae? That's the name of the island you're on. He shakes his head. And tell me about your bar. He truly looks sad as he says, This place was once my pride and joy. The keg was known all around Britannia, and a few other places too. Well, now it don't look like too much, but in its heyday it saw the likes of nobles, knights, minstrels, and merchants. And of course, a bit of riffraff to be sure. He winks at you. His spirit seems indomitable. Okay. Bye. Oh, are you leaving then? Well, you take care now, and watch out for those walking dead. Some of them aren't too happy about their state, and none too picky about who they complain to, neither. The pale-looking ghost turns in your direction and gives you a wan smile. Hello. Could it be that we've met somewhere before, my lord? You see recognition in his eyes, then it fades. Forgive me, he shakes his head, then smiles. I am the shade of Quentin. So what he's referencing here, and I'm sorry I sound so awful, I'm obviously just getting over a cold here. What he's referencing there is in Ultima 6, when you go to Skara Brae, there is a mystery or quest or what have you that was surrounding his, at that time, recent death. So presumably we met him in our last journeys here, but he was also a ghost or a shade then. I am the shade of name. I am called Quentin, my lord. Job. He smiles at your question. I once roamed the sea for days at a time, gathering mine harvest of fish. Shade? My story is a long and sad one. I hope thou hast some time. He appears thoughtful for a moment and then begins. When I was a young man, I met a lovely woman by the name of Gwen. I made her my wife, and we lived for a time, happy and carefree. She brought a light into the world, and we called her Marnie, which means the cool breeze after a storm. He smiles to himself at some memory, then continues with a furrowed brow. Then one day my wife was taken from me. I know not where or by whom, save that they were evil men. Soon after, my sweet Marnie became sick at heart, and I feared for her health. I could not take time from my fishing to care for her, but I needed gold, so I made a deal with a man who was not to be trifled with. This was mine undoing, for when I failed to repay his loan, he came to me one night and slew me. I had not a chance to fight back or call for help. He falls silent. And I believe that's the description of exactly what leads into the quest in Ultima 6. But that was long before the fire that turned this whole island into the land of the dead. Tell me about the fire. It seems that Mistress Mordra, the town healer, thought she had a plan to stop the lich, Horrence, which she told to the mayor. I'm not sure exactly what she planned, but it involved Trent, the town smith, and Cain, the alchemist. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. Not long after Cain began his work, a maelstrom of fire tore over the island, destroying everything. Skara Brae burned for days. Cain? He looks as if he expected your question. Alas, Cain, in his attempt to free us from the lich, instead damned us to become slaves of the self-same lich. Slaves? Yes, we are his slaves. Every night at midnight we must go to the Dark Tower and become servants of his black mass. I only know this because Mordra tells us it is so. I have no recollection of ever having been to the Dark Tower at all. His expression betrays his fear. Tell me about Trent. Ah, the poor man knows the spirit-wrenching feeling of loss almost as well as I. His wife, Rowena, was killed by the walking dead, and Mistress Mordra claims that she saw her sitting on a throne next to the lich's own. I believe this has driven Trent somewhat mad. He works night and day upon some oddly formed cage. Strange, though, he never seems to finish it. He doth not seem to recall that he died in the fire, either. but a great hatred for Horrence still burns in his heart. Tell me of the mayor. The mayor, Quentin selects his words carefully. Well, he believes that discretion is the better part of valor. So he may be able to offer thee some aid, but thou art likely first to need to convince him that thou art not here to hurt him. Okay, tell me about the Lich. Once, over 2 centuries ago, I knew a gifted mage named Horrence. His two loves in his life were the study of magic and writing lovely poetry. The people of Scarabray felt safe in the knowledge that this sort of mage protected the town. Then he began to change. First, his beautiful sonnets became a rhyming doggerel. It became the only way in which he would speak. His spells, which he displayed before the townsfolk, became destructive and violent. People began to fear him. My death occurred at about this time. Not long after that, he became reclusive. He had a tower built on the northern point and never removed himself from it. Then, one night, the graves in the graveyard opened and the dead began to walk. Markham nods his head emphatically. "That's right. I seen it, I did." They marched to his tower, and now they roam all over the island, performing his bidding. "It be getting so as a ghost cannot make an honest living no more. Hoof!" Markham looks a bit disgruntled. Tell me about Mistress Mordra. Quentin looks hopeful. If thou wouldst like to assist us, she is the best one to speak to. She seems to know the way to rid us of the Lich, at the least. Marnie? Whoops. Oh, no. But I may have Ooh, you may have information. Okay, I don't even know. Well, it's... Oh, darn it, I did it again. Shade. I wanted to ask about Marnie next. Marnie. After I was murdered, my good friend Yorl cared for her as his own. He tried his best, but her sickness only worsened. After several months, she weakened and died. He stops here, tears filling his ghostly eyes. Then angrily he says, "And now her spirit is held by Horrence the Lich. Thou must rescue her from that foul beast." He attempts to grab you, but his hands pass through you without resistance. Now, Owen, settle down. Markham moves closer to you and whispers, "Forgive him, my lord. He sometimes loses control like that when he talks about his daughter. Sure, and you can understand, though." Fire. Yeah, we asked about that. We asked about everybody. Tortured one. Information. Oh, let's do... I think... Is that it other than information? I've been around for many, many years, Andy smiles. I have seen many, many things in that time. Okay, that's not super helpful. We did all these, did we? Oh no, we didn't do tortured one. I said something about Cain. Now he spends his days in eternal pain caused by his guilt from causing the fire that destroyed this town. Trent we asked about. Mistress Mordra. Yeah, we asked about. I think that was it. Okay. Bye, Quen. Goodbye, my lord. He turns back to his conversation with Markham. Is there anything useful in here? Oh, somebody else. Hello. Standing before you with a hand on her hip is a lovely young woman with long black hair. Ooh, thou art a big one, my lord. She traces the line of your bicep. I wager thou couldst lift me over thine head. She smiles enticingly. However, you doubt that you could even touch her in her ghostly state. Thou mayst call me Paulette, gorgeous. What can I do for thee? She winks at you. Name? Why, my lord, hast thou forgotten already? I'm Paulette. Job. Well, my lord, I used to clean tables here. As she says this, she bends over and pretends to wipe a table clean. You notice how low the cut of her bodice really is. And serve people like thyself. Of course, none so handsome. Her ghostly features blush prettily. But that was before, she shudders, the fire. Fire. Oh, yes, it was horrible. The tavern caught on fire. I ran to my room hoping to escape the flames, but then I started coughing. I couldn't breathe. Her chest rises and falls quickly as if she's reliving the experience. Finally, I could take it no longer. She brings the back of her hand to her forehead dramatically. I fainted. Then I was here again, just like thou dost see me now. Her smile is like that of a child. Tavern. Why, 'tis called the Kego Spirits. That's a fine name for a tavern, dost thou not agree? She smiles. Here again. Yes, 'twas quite odd. When I awoke, it was as if I had never left when the fire began. In fact, were it not for the scorch marks everywhere, I would doubt the fire ever happened. What do you know about the Tortured One? She appears puzzled for an instant, but then she nods her head. Oh, thou must be referring to Cain. He was the alchemist who was responsible for the fire. I don't want to buy anything, so bye. Paulette rushes up to you as you say goodbye, gives you a kiss on the cheek. She backs away slowly. Farewell, handsome. Oh. What happened? You guys scared? Oh, there's nothing up here. Okay. Well, it certainly doesn't look like there's anything useful in the Kego Spirits. Interesting name, since spirits aren't usually kept in kegs. So maybe it's not even a pun, maybe they're just talking about spirits themselves. What's up here? Doesn't look like anything. Can't see because of the clouds. Sounds like we should watch out for Walking Dead. Oh. Come on. What am I stuck on? What are these anyways? Rocks? They look like mushrooms. They are mushrooms. Who's up here? Oh, a potion. I'll take that. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll leave it. Too many potions. Oh, hello. I bet you're the mayor. You see a middle-aged ghost cowering in the corner of this burned-out room. He's shaking from head to toe, and as you approach, he jumps out, waving an ankh in your face. Ghost! No, he doesn't say that. He says, Thou'lt not have me, foul beast! Back! Back, I say, in the name of the virtues, back! He slowly notices that this is having no effect other than to surprise you and looks more closely in your direction. He looks from you to a picture of you on the wall. Back and forth he looks, squinting his eyes until they go wide with relief. Oh, thank thee for coming! Lord British finally called thee to help us. He's so obviously suffering from some delusion. I am Mayor Forsyth. Dost thou think it will take long for thee to defeat the Lich? Name? As I told thee, my name is Forsyth. Job? He seems confused by your question. Did I not already reveal that? I'm the mayor. Where can I find the Tortured One? That is what we call Cain. He's the alchemist who created the fire. Fire? He puts his arm around your shoulders and whispers, Mistress Mordra, our healer, thought she found a way to get rid of Horrens once and for all. All we have to do is make a gold cage. Or was it an old cage? Well, no matter. We make this cage, and someone, he smiles at you, lowers it into the Well of Souls to do something or other to it. When this is done, thou shalt catch the Lich off guard late at night and snap it tight around him. Sounds easy thus far, yes? Well, now, after that, thou needst only pour on him the magic liquid that the alchemist was making. He pauses here as if a little embarrassed. I apparently got the proportions a bit off when I told the alchemist about the formula. Anyway, it should be as easy as falling off a log for thee. I guess thou hadst better be running along now. Mistress Mordra can tell thee ever so much more about this than can I. Be careful, though. She's a dangerous old wench. Okay, well, I guess that's the plan. Or at least the outline of the plan to defeat the Lich. Let's finish off the dialogues, though. She resides just across the way and can help thee with everything thou mightest need to rid us of the Lich. Thank thee ever so much. It has been nice talking with thee. Goodbye. He scurries back into the corner and holds his ankh in a protective fashion. Okay, No, let's finish this. Let's just get it out of the way. Ah, yes, good Avatar. 'Tis good to see thee again. Is that the Lich gone yet? Of what service can I be to get for one so great as thee? He bows. Lich. Why, yes, the Lich has been a horrible scourge on my poor town. First he drives all visitors by raising the dead, then in an attempt to stop him, the town is destroyed in a terrible fire. Well, I suppose that is not strictly his fault, but something had to be done about it. Forsyth looks a little flustered. His fault? Well, the alchemist is the one who started the fire. Okay, so that's all we can get out of him, right? We did fire. Proportions. Oh, and Horrence. Well, if I've got all this Lich lore straight, then Horrence, who used to be a good and kindly mage, has become a nasty, horrible, undead mage. He smiles patronizingly. Now, run along. Thou canst ask Mordra if thou needest more information. Proportions. 'Twas so long ago that I barely remember. A smattering of curing, a dash of a potion of invisibility, and... That's right, a ton of the essence of mandrake root. Well, that seems like your problem there. Alright. Bye, Forsyth. Oh, yes, right. If I've forgotten to tell thee something, thou mayest come back and ask, alright? He sighs heavily as thou start to leave, then returns to his vigil in the corner. Is this the picture of me? Painting. Must be. Okay, well, since my sinuses are a mess, we'll just call it there. And we'll pick back up next time going across the way to talk to Mistress Mordra. See you then.